from Swansea, wrestling fans. I'm your host, Ben Allison, and you are listening to Wrestling Republic's daily broadcast, your one-stop shop for professional wrestling, insight, news, and reviews on a daily basis. And today is WrestleMania Sunday, and we're giving our thoughts on WrestleMania Saturday from last night because, wow, what a show that was. Me and Chaos were doing a watch along during it, so you guys can see some of our immediate reactions if you watch that. Of course, there was an off the air after the show as well, but we're doing this daily show today to give the thoughts from us here in the UK on the show. I've got a stacked crew with me from the United Kingdom, but before we're going to get into that, I want to explain how I think Cody Rhodes is going to fail to finish the story tonight and how Roman Reigns will win, because I reckon The Rock will turn on Roman Reigns during the match today. I think everything's going to be set up for Cody to finish his story. And then I think Seth Rollins is going to screw him, because I think Seth Rollins is going to lose his title earlier on in the night, and it'll come to the main event. He'll come down and help Cody against the Bloodline, and then he'll turn on him. Why? Because whenever Seth Rollins has felt like the odds are against him, he turns heel. Whenever he feels like, he's not in a great position, he turns heel, and I think he's doing that tonight. I think he's going to turn on Cody, and then I think for the next 12 months, Cody's going to get drafted to Raw. Cody's going to be furious that he's been drafted to Raw. He's saying, I want SmackDown. I want to finish my story. The general managers calm him down. It's, they say to him, hey, you wanted to finish it? Well, win Money in the Bank. He enters Money in the Bank. Seth Rollins stops him from winning. They then feud a bit more throughout the year. It eventually all leads up to Seth Rollins versus Cody Rhodes in a stipulation match at WrestleMania 41, a huge match, and Cody Rhodes defeats Seth Rollins. We get an edgier, more heel-like Cody Rhodes than we've ever seen before, but one who the fans cannot help but root for. Then at WrestleMania 41, we have Rock and Roman. Roman will win, but after WrestleMania 41, that's when they tell the story. That's when they really build towards finishing the story, having Cody Rhodes win. Because if you do this right, if you have Cody become obsessed with this championship, it'll mean a lot more. Because let's face it, this year on WWE programming, quite often, it's kind of felt like Cody Rhodes just hasn't mentioned the story. All the way up until January, he kind of just ignored it for the entire year. Have him be obsessed with it for 18 months, where he just needs it. He's trying to do everything he can, but he's getting screwed at every corner. And by this time, in 18 months, well, the Bloodline would have fallen, right? The Rock would have, been taken out by Roman. Jay's gone already. Jimmy and Solo will probably be the same as well. It will be 1 versus 1, and it'll be 1 versus 1 because Roman's lost the power in the family. Roman has lost the ability to be the tribal chief because they've turned against him. They've isolated him, and you have Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, one-on-one, SummerSlam 2025, and that's when you finish the story. And I believe that's what they're doing. I really, really do. But right now, guys, let's just jump straight into the show, and let's talk about last night. Let me kick things off with introducing all the way from Scotland, Soul. Soul, how are you today?
I only have this to say. Wednesday. I'll see you then.
Wednesday? Okay. Clearly referencing the AEW, the fact that Tony Khan's lost his mind and is airing dirty laundry out on TV. But, AEW's become a dirt sheet, seemingly. But also joining us today, we have Jordy. How are you, Jordy?
Man, I'm good. It was... I don't agree with what you think is going to happen. I think Cody's going to win tonight, and we all know that. So I'm in a good mood. Nervous, a little bit nervous, which is great because I haven't felt like this about a match in a long time. And I'm manifesting. And I'll tell you what I'm manifesting. An outfit I wore to Money in the Bank made a certain person turn up, I believe. So I'm wearing the sweatbands. And I believe that we are going to see John Cena turn up at WrestleMania tonight, because this was the same outfit I wore back at Money in the Bank. I didn't think he was going to show up, and he did. So tomorrow, and when he's shown up, we'll come back and we'll all say thank you, Jordy, for letting us in on that little scoop.
I actually believe you, Jordy. I do think he's showing up tonight. I think this is going to be like Avengers versus the Bloodline. I think we might get some, some extended Bloodline appearances as well. I think it's going to be just crazy. And yeah, in the end, though, I reckon Rock's going to turn on Roman. Everyone's going to think the story's finished. And Seth Rollins, I mean, maybe he'll do a chair to the back. Maybe he'll do something different. But I think we're going to see a turn. But somebody who I'll be watching it with tonight, and you can see our reactions live, is Chaos. How are you, Chaos?
Oh, flipping hell, Ben, man. Clearly you have not got enough sleep from this morning, because you are absolutely waffling, and you're lucky I can't swear on this, because I'll be cussing your ass out on this.
Well, we'll see later.
We will see. Don't worry. I've already planned. As soon as we see the 1, 2, 3, I got my 5 minute of laughs in your face for a good 5 minutes. I got that locked, loaded, and ready for you. And I just look forward to seeing you do those 100 push-ups, drunk or not drunk. You are gonna be doing those 100 push-ups as soon as that happens. Now, going back to last night, obviously you saw our reactions. It was a fine show. It was good. Couple good highs, couple lows, but obviously we're gonna dissect each match and then get into it. But I'm sorry to break it to you. You were starting off well, and then you just drifted off and fell off a cliff with this 18-month stuff. Like, I got a few rebuttals for your storyline, but obviously I can't talk about it right now. We're here to talk about WrestleMania Night 1. Let's get straight to it, shall we?
Don't worry, kids. I'm sure you can laugh in his face.
Oh, everyone's
Exactly.
doing this buzzer now. Oh. It's more overused than to finish the storyline with a couple of comments. Firstly, Melissa, shout out Melissa, is agreeing with my opinion.
I wonder why, Melissa. I wonder why.
Boots.
She's got nothing to do with me. Yeah, definitely. She's just, a fan who agrees. She's definitely not my girlfriend. Yeah, definitely. But we have a comment from Andy saying if Roman Reigns loses, he will return in 6 months. I mean, he said he's going to retire. He said he's done. He's finito. He's finished. If that's the case, Ian.Riv is asking, what if Cody wins? Would it be that bad? The answer is, truthfully, it wouldn't be no. I do quite like Cody, jokes aside. I think it would be a God championship reign. I really do. But
you
yeah.
Can't backtrack. No backtracking. I don't care. When it happens, you're going to be all technical. You are going to eat those 100 push-ups. That's what I'm saying.
I'm not. It's going to be true. We got Jay Hizzle who says, I agree with Jordy, and so does my dog.
Okay.
On the John Cena appearance, I presume.
You've got the love of the animals. Good on yourself.
Tiny So Weird says Roman is winning. It's not time for him to lose yet. I agree, Tiny So Weird. You are bang on. But guys, let's talk about last night. Let's talk about that amazing opener. Rhea, I don't think I can actually say it on daily. Rhea something Ripley versus Becky Lynch. Mammy versus the man. I think it's actually technically a swear in the UK, isn't it? But anyway, the Mammy versus the man. Last night, Rhea Ripley retained the belt in a banger to start off WrestleMania Saturday. I thoroughly enjoyed Chaos. I want to get your thoughts on this first. What did you think about Rhea versus Becky?
Yeah, no, I agree. It was a fine start to the event. Obviously, before then, we got the introduction from Triple H. You can see he was soaking in the atmosphere. And this is, in my opinion, this feels like his first true WrestleMania. Where he has full control. Obviously, last year was a bit techie in certain parts. We all know about that stuff. But yeah, this one was fully his, and I think he was happy that we've all culminated to this one show, and this is his show. And yeah, he started off with the banger with Rhea Ripley against the man. I predicted during the show that Rhea it's best for her to retain. Becky, she's got her book. They promote that to the high heavens during the match and before then with all the book AR stuff, and then promoting it beforehand. So she's busy with that. So she's not gonna be gone into obscurity or anything. it was a good start, back and forth. I love the I think she did a modified riptide from the turnbuckle and then picked her up again and then just landed it again. Beautiful finish. There was a couple parts I was a bit worried that that they were gonna give it to Becky, but yeah, it's not Becky's time now. Like I said, Rhea's time is gonna be when I think she's gonna lose it via a cash-in, by whatever happens after the draft, because I think that's been confirmed that's gonna be in a month or so. But right now she's run fresh out of contenders. So yeah, bring some people from from SmackDown. Why not get Bianca Belair? I know they were teasing that when they were both champion last year, but Bianca against Rhea. Yeah, why not run that? Bring her over to Raw and then run that back. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, very fine start. The crowd was electric, can't fault it. So yeah, very solid start to Mania.
Absolutely, and you were right. That riptide into the turnbuckle, whoo, that was brilliant. What about you, Saul? What did you think about this opener?
I loved it. Kudos to Becky as well, because I remember Cole was saying she's battling strep throat, and so fair play to her for doing that during that match and being an absolute trooper. Like the entrance, like the live performance for Rhea, and the book entrance as well for Becky, I thought was very cinematic, and just the whole vibe as well. I just liked how cinematic everything was with the camera angles and stuff going on. I thought that was fun. I've seen some people like knocking this match, saying that they felt like it wasn't 100% their all. But I mean, hey, if Becky's ill and I know Rhea's had problems with her arm, then fair play to them, because they did well for what they were given. I thought it was good. Hell of a way to open it. Yeah, I've got real no complaints about this. I mean, Rhea's title reign can continue. Who will dethrone her? Don't know, honestly.
Yeah, no, I mean, it is a difficult one. I mean, I'm going to be honest here. I joked yesterday about her having a 5-year championship reign. I don't think that's going to happen, but I do think it's going to be a long championship reign. I really, really do. Potentially until next year's WrestleMania. But what about you, Jordy? What did you think about this opening contest? You're muted.
Oh boy.
The mute button strikes again.
Yeah, got me again. I know, sorry. I thought it was you can't see me. No, you can't hear me, but there you go. So yeah, I agree. I thought it was an epic start. As somebody, so I've spoke to my fiance a while and kind of explained Mania entrances, because this was her first one watching it live, and it kicked off with those. I thought Rhea's was better than Becky's. I thought Becky's was great, with all the AR and the quotes from her book, but coming out to a live band, there's just something about it for me that it's almost like a throwback. I always remember kind of Taker doing it way back in the day and Triple H doing it. So I love it when that happens. And yeah, the production, even on that kind of announcement bit when Samantha was announcing the two, and it looked like I was watching some kind of like 8K AI graphic. It was crazy, man. It was so good. Like the focus on the individuals and then the way it kind of blurred everything out in the background. I thought it was great. And yeah, the match itself went exactly how I thought it would. I thought Becky had put up a hell of a fight, but Rhea would overcome it. And I do think that Rhea will hold until next Mania. I've thought that for a while. I don't even know if she'll lose it then, but I really do think that they've got something in Rhea Ripley, something that they've been looking for quite a while. And I'm excited to see more. She's already had a year behind her. And I'm not ready to see her drop it yet. Like you say, there's people like Jade, there's people like Bianca, there's Liv Morgan. There's still feuds that I want to see before she drops that belt. So yeah, I loved it, man. I loved it. I thought it was a great opener. And yeah, like you said, if they're battling a bit of health, if they're battling illness, you wouldn't have been able to tell. And maybe they could have done better, but that's just because of how good they are, because they still put on a hell of a show to open the biggest Mania of all time.
Well, that's what they're calling it, isn't there? And I agree with you. It really was a fun way to open the show with a couple of comments here. We got somebody saying, would it be that bad if Cody wins? Ian saying that. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't be a fan personally. But Chris Leclerc is saying, it is time for Roman Reigns to lose. That's cap. Ian saying, Jade Cargill versus Rhea Ripley. We said who could be the one to tip the title off her. That is certainly a good shout.
Ben, like that's how I know you don't believe it, because you use the word cap so unconvincingly Like you,
Like
that's how you don't believe that he would. That is like
he doesn't believe.
I believe it. I genuinely, I can actually promise you, I believe tonight. I really do think Seth Rollins is screwing over Roman Reigns. Genuinely, that is my prediction. And
See,
I mean,
oh, screwing over Roman Reigns. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
See when Cody wins on the live stream of the Watch Party, which you can see on the Wrestling Republic YouTube channel.
He just said it, everybody.
He's gonna go.
Cody Rhodes.
He was kidding. I was kidding. I'm Cody Crybaby all the way. I support the boy. Mm-hmm.
No. All Cody Rhodes fans like babies. I have heard though. I'm a bit concerned though. Which is something we should probably talk about the weather warnings in Philadelphia tonight. Because obviously yesterday it was really cold. Well, tonight it's even worse. There's potential flood warnings because of the tears from all of the Cody Rhodes fans when the tribal chief retains. I mean, you guys set me up there. But
these damn kids have no respect for their elders.
Let's move on. I want to talk about the tag ladder match because they separated these tag team titles. Finally, we had Austin Theory and Grayson Waller, who yesterday I was saying on the Daily, I thought they were in a really bad place. Next to buried. I mean, 24 hours later, they're the SmackDown Tag Team Champions. Could that save them? Who knows? But the Awesome Truth won the Raw Tag Team titles, 2 new sets of champions, and the titles are finally separated. What did you think, Chaos?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I wasn't really that fussed of that if they were separated. I was fine with them being the one set. What I just was praying for was that we actually get a new set of titles. We've been saying it, like, not just us, but fans everywhere have been saying we need a new set, and apparently there's one set been created, but they just haven't presented it yet. Hopefully now that they all saying that this is a new era and this ushering in a new era, like change it up. I think now is a good time. But yeah, the tag teams that won, I was surprised that Down Under, A-Town Down Under was the winners of the SmackDown ones. But because I thought I was probably going to New Catch Redacted, as you called them, Ben. Yep. But yeah, this is hopefully
shall
something
not be spoken unless it's in the context of Wrestling Republic.
Exactly. Trademark pending. So yeah, it's hopefully this will revitalize them. I mean, I'm a fan of Grayson Waller, and I'm partially a fan of Austin Theory. I still feel like he's lost, and he just needs to find himself, as what almost everyone's been saying about him. But yeah, hopefully this will revitalize him. He's currently undefeated at WrestleMania. I thought that because I got confused because they won the SmackDown one, and I thought, all right, they won one, that's it, they're done. They were going to leave, but they were trying to go for the Raw ones as well. I was like, okay, that's cheeky, fair enough. But yeah, I knew at some point, I knew Austin Truth just had to get a tag team title out of this. That they're the ones that had the biggest feud out of everyone in the Judgment Day with the Judgment Day. So, and yeah, I just felt like it was just like a congratulations, well done for being with us for almost 30 years type of stick. And they just gave him the tag team titles. And I just realized I researched that, watched along. He's been in 7 WrestleManias and didn't win a single match. So that's a crazy statistic until now. But yeah, I was getting a bit annoyed because there was a couple times where he went up the ladder, and he was like looking at the crowd like, should I go get it? And I was just like, dude, I hate it when they do that in ladder matches. But yeah, it was solid, very fun. And yeah, let's see what happens with the Awesome Truth. And let's it was I can't. The ending was a bit iffy. But yeah, it was right. It was fine. It was one of the strongest matches of the card.
Absolutely. No, I do agree with you there, Chaos. That one is for sure. Well, now, before we move on to anything else, guys, something which I'm also a fan of, as well as I'm separating the tag team championships, is Next Level. If you guys don't know what Next Level is, I mean, it's difficult to know where all our social medias are. What social medias are we on? What social medias are we not on? Do we have TikTok? Do we have Twitch? All of these questions, they're good questions to have, but it might be difficult to find us. Well, Next Level have the solution, a free solution. All you need to do is go to nxconnect.me/Wrestling Republic to see all our content across all platforms, all linked in one place, plus exclusive content, plus giveaways. There's still a giveaway on to potentially win WWE 2K24. Hit the link, scroll to the bottom. It'll tell you how to enter. It's really, really, really simple. It's free. You guys have nothing to lose. Once again, nxconnect.me/Wrestling Republic. It's linked in the description on YouTube as well. But now let's move on because I want to talk about another match which happened last night. And this one, well, I'm going to be completely honest. I just did not think that it hit well whatsoever. And that was Santos Escobar and Dominic Mysterio versus Andrade and Rey Mysterio. Dominic Mysterio once again could not get revenge on his father. It seems like he might have to wait another year for that. But Saul, what was your thoughts on this match?
Personally, out of the whole card, I think this was the weakest match out of every single one of them. I think this is something that not a lot of people cared about, because if you think about it, yeah, Ray looked good, and Andrade was chucked in for Dragon Lee, so Dragon Lee doesn't get a show in. He's just probably going to be stuck on WWE speed for having 3-minute matches and stuff like that, which, hey, easy paycheck. I ain't complaining. But, I mean, Santos as well. Santos is a very good wrestler, I think, and he's done some good stuff with NXT, and now I feel like he's the one that's going to suffer the most out of this. Andrade will probably get a mid-card single run. Santos, I think he's going to be lower mid-card, if anything. I don't know what you could really do with him at this point. Dominic is the one I would give props to, though, because I just thought Dominic was getting heat because he was with Rhea Ripley, and it was just a bunch of, the salty, sweaty neckbeards that were like, you can't be with her, and he's like, well, he's proving you wrong there, bud. But no, he was still getting a reaction, a very heated reaction. I think he got the most out of it, of everyone there, so
yeah,
fair play to him. I just wonder, how long are we just going to do disgruntled son, disgruntled father for? Because I don't think it's something that can long last term. If anything, I would have, I kind of want Rhea and Dominic to be over with soon, because I think it's kind of run its course, and it's going to limit Dom, because it's sort of going to typecast him as you were just the little lackey to Mami. And I don't think we want his whole career to just be Mami's little boy. We actually want him to, I think a lot of fans want him to adopt Rey's mask, put on the mask, and be Rey Mysterio Jr. in WWE, that have that be his name, or Dominic Mysterio Jr., something like that, actually continue his father's legacy. Now, of course, he may want to craft his own legacy with what he wants to do, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I just feel that he needs to embrace his heritage and go with it, because at the end of the day, his heritage is a brand, a very successful brand that a lot of people buy with the masks. We've seen at Philly as well, and it's got a lot of legacy to it. Now, we've seen with other generational wrestlers like Lexis King in NXT, sometimes it's good to leave your family heritage behind and adopt a new persona that might work for you. Now, if Dominic could do that, but obviously he has the Mysterio name attached to him at this point, so he seems like he is embracing it and continuing it in some frame. So personally, I would have either by next WrestleMania or something like that do the Rey Mysterio retirement thing with Dom, but have it be an out of respect thing. Maybe it's a feud with Santos or Andrade, or maybe the whole LWO or like fast whatever Santos' faction is called, because it's a tongue twister for me. But I think have the Rey and Dom match not be one out of I hate my father, I can't do that. Be it one that the father is pushing his son to the limit to get him to the next level. And by beating Rey, it will be like this, you are now worthy. You've now retired me, son. Now go on and make your own path, sort of thing. Not in the light of Mami, not in the light of me, not in the light of Santos, but the path of Dominic Mysterio.
I genuinely think so. What you just suggested was genuinely what they were going to do. But here is the issue, and it's a big issue. Dominic Mysterio has become one of the most easily hateable heels, and I mean that in the best way, that WWE have had for a long time, where they can't really turn him face. I'm almost thinking what they're going to do is they're going to take this forward to the retirement match next year, mask versus hair, something like that, and in the end, Dominic Mysterio will finally get the win over his father, and then at that point, Dom gets given the mask by Rey. There's a moment of respect, and then Dom just goes back to being a heel afterwards or something like that, because he is such a good heel. I think it might be difficult to get him liked as a face.
I think he could work a face well. I think he could, honestly. If it's with the passion of Ray behind it, pushing it, I think they could touch a lot of heartstrings about, father son reconnecting and making amends after so much bad blood.
Yeah. Perhaps so, then that would be a beautiful story to tell. And listen, if Dom can actually get over as a face as well, then hey, this guy really has lived up to the expectations, the heights of his father in a way. Because I mean, we already know he's a great heel. If he can be a great face too, that is another level, no doubt about that. But Jordy, I'm gonna bring you in for the next one because I want to talk to you about a match, which let me get this comment for a second. Tiny So Weird over on Instagram says was the weakest match. He loves the Usos, but to him, this was the worst match of both their careers. I mean, definitely don't think I'd go that far, but was it a disappointment? I kind of think so. What were your thoughts, Jordy?
I don't know. Disappointments. It's a very negative word. Yeah, and I don't think it actually sums up how I do feel about it. I had this pegged for like a potential stealer of the night, and it definitely wasn't that. So like, did it live up to expectations? You can definitely say no, because that was what I predicted, and it certainly didn't get anywhere near that. I felt the most hyped about this match than I had done kind of building up to it after the video package. I thought the video package was great, and I don't think it was a bad match, right? It wasn't a bad match, but we all know that these two could have given more given the time. So I like when people are saying this, like, that's why I don't agree with that comment, because I don't actually hold Jimmy or Jay necessarily responsible for it, because I think technically it was a good match, but because it didn't have the maybe emotion behind it or the storyline behind it, aside from and I know the storyline was there, but I think because it does go back quite far as well, when you look like it was SummerSlam, wasn't it, that Jimmy initially turned on Jay, and then said, "Oh, I was doing it to try and help you," because it was when Jay
Tribal Combat.
Yeah, Tribal Combat. Yeah. So that's what it's been a long time. It has been a long time coming. But because it's been so staggered and over such a long time that there's been no kind of consistent build. I think maybe that's what it was missing. I genuinely thought what I predicted was going to happen, and when Jimmy was kind of begging for forgiveness, I said that was going to happen, but then I said that Jimmy was going to roll him up, and that didn't happen. I'm worried for Jimmy. Coming out of this, that's where I can see where Jay goes. Jay's got momentum. A Jay and Sami program would probably be great, even with them both as faces. Like, you could probably get away with it because of the history between them. You know what I mean? So Jay's got places to go, particularly again if Drew is to win, and we've got a heel on the world title. Jay's got a perfect avenue up there. So, but Jimmy, man, I really think he needed that win. And as characters, in kayfabe, I prefer Jay, but in terms of like their careers, I do worry a little bit for where Jimmy goes now, because I think if he'd have beat Jay, he can probably ride off that for a little bit, and maybe hold it over Roman. Like, you know what I mean? Like, actually use it. Well, not hold it over him, but use it within the bloodline to be like, look,
another layer.
Another layer. Yeah. Whereas now I just think it's like, well, that's that feud buried. And see you later. Where did he go now? So yeah, disappointing, I guess, in that sense. But I didn't come out of the match thinking, "Oh, that was rubbish," you know.
Oh, well, hold down, Jordy. Don't worry, buddy, because there's a very reputable source that agrees with you that match was terrible. Cage Match, the best going thing in the planet, gave it a 2.92. So you've got some reputable source there giving that a harsh rating. So I think we got to believe the Cage Match.
Yeah, maybe
Anyway. Oh gosh. I mean, I do agree with you though, Jordy. I mean, Clark on off the air last night said that, hey, Jay is now like a 91 on 2K, whereas Jimmy is like an 84. I'm gonna be honest, I think Jimmy's like a 68 now, and Jay's like a 92. There's so much just distance between them. Like, Jimmy has kind of been buried and maybe they're going to do a redemption arc. Maybe that's what they're going for. But it's
And
difficult, isn't it?
that's the thing as well. I felt if the tag titles hadn't have fallen to Grayson and Theory and it had fallen to a face pairing, that might have been Jimmy and Solo might have gone for them titles, and that might have been it. You know what I mean? Because that's a kind of it's not an insult to Jay, but to go and win it with Solo, like the tag team's their thing, innit? Like so. Imagine
and
if Jimmy had have won
the Cody one as well.
Yeah, if Jimmy had have won that match and then gone on and won the tag belts with Solo, I think, yeah, right, he's got momentum back and we actually think Jimmy can do something. But now I'm just a bit like, yeah, what are we supposed to be scared of Jimmy? Like, what's he gonna do? Like,
well, who knows? Maybe he'll do something tonight when Roman retains. I'll stop.
Please,
oh
stop
no,
embarrassing yourself.
he'll always be there to do that, and no doubt, because I don't think, regardless of the result tonight, I don't think the Bloodline's ending. I think there's still storyline. So, but he'll always be there to run in and do that and take the whipping, like he did on SmackDown. So Roman and The Rock don't have to do
literally.
And his little brother doesn't have to do it. Yeah, literally. So he's still got purpose, but in terms of Jimmy Uso's solo career, I'm just a little bit worried about that. That's all. For Jimmy's
I
sake.
do see your concerns. I do see them. I mean, something which some people have had concerns about is what I'm bringing Chaos in to talk about right now, and that is this 6-woman tag team match. Damage Control versus Naomi, Jade Cargill, and Bianca Belair. A lot of people have been saying, hey, Damage Control looked trash in this, and it didn't do much for Jade Cargill. I disagree on the latter. I think this made Jade Cargill look like an STAR, a star. All these 3 women on that team look like just absolute stars. Their entrance together was actually my favorite entrance of the night personally. I thought these 3 women killed it. But in terms of Damage Control, yeah, they did look a bit naff, didn't they? What were your thoughts, Chaos?
Yeah, this was pretty much presented as, you know, this is going to be the Jade Cargill show. She stood out from her entrance. Well, they all had their own individual entrances, but yeah, started Jade Cargill with her attire. Her entrance was absolutely amazing. She is star made, and it's crazy how, you know, it's been a long time that we've actually said someone is a star. This is all everyone says, that she is actual, like an incarnation of a star, a superstar. And she definitely takes that in stride and easily as well. She's not trying to be anything else. The match was definitely something that you would see on Raw or SmackDown. It definitely felt like a SmackDown match, but like I said, this was just to really put over Jade Cargill. And even I said before as well, I feel like I said to you, as soon as Cargill comes in, they should make her squash Damage Control, and that's pretty much what she basically kind of did. I tried to get a couple offense on her, but yeah, she was just running the show until as soon as she got tagged in, and that's what you need for it to be convincing, and be a potential threat to any championship that she will go for eventually. Will she could easily be someone that could main event WrestleMania, next year's WrestleMania, or even the one after that. I don't know, but yeah, she definitely has the potential to do that. It's to see where it goes from there. But yeah, the main talking point is for the fact that Bianca Belair is still undefeated also at WrestleMania. Naomi got her big WrestleMania moment, which is good. The fact that she kind of stumbled a bit after making a Royal Rumble appearance, but yeah, it's a good showing for all of them. And yeah, we just have to see where it goes from there. I just hope they don't just stick her in tag matches. I think she can definitely go straight into a solo thing and see where it goes from there. But yeah, it was fine.
Absolutely. We mentioned Rhea Ripley. She's looking for someone to face. Hey, maybe a few months down the line, that could be a SummerSlam match. We have Chris Leclerc saying Damage Control is always going to lose, and Io Sky is next tonight.
Also, I just want to say as well, that I feel like, because the fact that Dakota Kai took the pin, I feel like she's going to be the next one to get kicked out of Damage Control. And then you're just going to have Kabuki Warriors. That's it. It's going to be the end of Damage Control after tonight. But yeah, I feel like they're all going to somehow blame Dakota Kai for this. So yeah, it's going to be interesting.
I wouldn't be mad at that, actually. I think that would be quite entertaining indeed. Also, Chris Leclerc, I mean, I do agree. I think it's Bayley's time tonight. Bayley, come on. Let's go. New champion. I know Clark will be delighted if she wins. I mean, if Bayley and Roman Reigns win tonight, I'm not sure if Clark will be able to contain himself on off the air. He might be running all over the place.
Is it true that is it so far that all the Royal Rumble winners, the women's Royal Rumble winners, have won the title? Am I correct saying that? No, Rhea Ripley didn't win, did she? No, I'm wrong.
It was Charlotte who won, and she won.
Yeah, so I think they've all won, haven't they?
No, Asuka won the inaugural one and lost against Charlotte at 30.
Oh yeah, that was dumb. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that's when she lost her in the big streak.
Study up your history, boys, for God's sake. You're meant to be professionals.
We rather forget that. That was terrible
as well. We should know. But so
I'm a sports entertainer anyway. I'm not a professional.
Go join the Appreciation Society.
So
Asuka 0-6. Wow, that's a crazy statistic. So Chris Claire, sorry.
Wait, what's this?
Asuka
is 0-6.
Yeah,
that is a crazy stat. That is shout out Chris Leclerc for that one. But let's now move on because Soul, I want to talk to you about something that me and Chaos, well, we weren't too happy about, were we? And that was Sami Zayn dethroning Gunther to become the new Intercontinental Champion. 666 days Gunther held that belt, but that reign has now come to an end. Soul, what are your immediate thoughts?
So I kind of knew Gunther was losing when Dragunov retained on Stand and Deliver, because I always think, if anything, it should have been Dragunov that would take the title off him. And as well, wrestling fans, they love their shiny toys until they get a new one. And then they're like, no, throw him away. I want to play with a new variant figure. When you get Chad Gable, when you've been cheering Sammy for the last year and a bit. And then when he gets a winning moment, everyone's like, no, we don't want you. We want our new favorite to be the winner now. I'm fine with it.
They told the story. They told the story with Chad.
Yeah, and it finished when he lost. So that story's over.
Well, Cody's is over by that account.
No, it's been still ongoing. It's ongoing right now, and he's going to win it. So hush. Here's the thing, right? I would have Dragunov or someone who's never won the Intercontinental Championship before to get that kind of rub, but it isn't in the cards. I think Gunther lost the title because Cody's winning, and Cody and Gunther is the money feud that you can get with this leading into Bash at Berlin. So that's why they're going to do that. If not, what is Gunther going to do? He's a heel right now. The Seth's going to lose to Drew, and if it's not, well, I'm not going to say if because it's not going to happen. Priest will somehow cash in and lose, so it's still going to stay on a heel. Cody will get the WWE Championship and be a face. You're not going to put Gunther into the United States picture. You're not going to put him into something else. If anything, an Intercontinental rematch at Backlash in France, if you want, but then he's got to go right for a title picture. You are not putting Gunther on the back burner for a couple of months, or like in your case, a year or a bit until Cody can finish his stupid story and then strike with Gunther. You're going to strike now. You're going to strike now. What are you going to do with Gunther? Are you going to do an Imperium implosion story with Giovanni Vici or something like that? No, you're going to have Gunther get the biggest strap in the company because he is a dominant force. I mean, I just want to say as well, fair play for Gunther, because what he's done for the Intercontinental title has been tremendous. Probably the best thing to happen to that title in the last 10 years.
Absolutely. I agree with that wholeheartedly, Sol. I mean, there is one flaw in what you said. You said Gunther's got to face a heel for that championship. Well, hang on babyface for that championship. Well, hang on just a second. In Berlin, Gunther will be a babyface. He'll be a gigantic babyface. So actually, he can face a heel very, very easily. And in fact, you have until late August, early September, I think Bash in Berlin is, to actually be able to, tell that story, tell Gunther turning slightly face, just enough so you can, do that match. I mean, I don't think it needs to be a face champion at all. In fact, I think it would be better with a heel champion. Give me Gunther Reigns. Give me Gunther versus maybe McIntyre. Who knows? Maybe McIntyre. I could see that well and truly indeed. But now let's move on because, Jordy, I want to get your thoughts on this one. A new Intercontinental Champion. Are you happy about it? Or are you feeling similar to me and Chaos? how we were last night.
I was at first, literally, like, if you go back, I was Gable all the way. And it wasn't, and it was kind of for Sami's sake, because I genuinely thought that he was just going to get put in this match to lose. And like, I wanted him in a world title picture. So this to me was the biggest shock of the night. I honestly did not see it coming at all. If you could have seen my face, it was like that guy when Taker lost his streak. I honestly didn't see it coming. I really thought that Gunther was going to carry on and Gable somewhere down the line was going to do it. But the build up at the start, man, that actually genuinely swayed me, because when you take out the wrestling side of it and blah, 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 I just genuinely, there's something about Sami Zayn, man. I just always want the best for that man. And when he was there with his kid and his wife, and then when he saw KO, man, I was just like, I wanted him to do it at that point, and I didn't in the build up. So I was genuinely very happy for him. What is the future for the Intercontinental Championship? What is the future for Gunther? Who knows? I think, yeah, rematch probably at Backlash. He might even win the rematch. Like, it's Gunther. Like, it would be a weird spin, but I wouldn't put it past him. And it wouldn't, like, Sami's got the Mania moment and then just put the belt back on Gunther for a couple of months. It would be weird, but I don't know if I can see Sami doing it again and beating him again. That's the thing. Beating someone like Gunther, to me, it's like a one-off. It's like, am I going to be able to do that again a month later? I don't know. But yeah, I think it's a very good point you make. I think it doesn't necessarily need to be a heel or a face, because when you take it to Berlin, Gunther's going to have that hometown crowd advantage, even though he's from Austria, so he's not from Berlin. But you know how they do, like Drew.
He trained there.
Like Drew's from Cardiff, isn't it? Like, it's, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? I completely understand that. So he will have that hometown rub. He definitely will. But I then think you can kind of swing that. So if it was a face that was a champion, that is like, if it was Cody, he's up against that's Rocky IV right there. You're up against someone. You go into Russia to fight, and you're the American, and end it. Yeah, do you know what I mean? It's like that's a different kind of test. It's like they're not going to be on your side. You might be the American Nightmare, bro, but you're in Berlin, mate. None of that matters. Which was very Rocky IV, wasn't it?
Yes.
And it ended with him with a flag around him. So I don't know. It could go either way, but I'm very excited to see what Sami does, what Gunther does, what happens with this title. And I don't think Sami's going to be able to live up to that reign. That's going to be historic, but I've got no doubt he'll be able to do something great with it.
I hope so. I really, really do. And I hope he has some bangers along the way. Chris Leclerc says that his heart said Sami Zayn was winning. I mean, fair enough on that one. And he thinks Gunther's cockiness cost him that Intercontinental Championship. No doubt about that. But also, I mean, the fact that maybe that was the case. Well, Gunther could now lead that into a storyline. When he goes for World Championship, says, this time I'm not letting my cockiness get in the way. I'm working hard and I want to be that champion. And I think they certainly have a story to tell there. But now I want to talk about the big one. The big one. The big one. And that was the main event. The biggest WrestleMania tag match of all time. In fact, I think they said the biggest tag match of all time. The Rock, Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, Seth freaking Rollins. This was 44 minutes and I think 36 seconds of just insanity. It was a really, really great match. It started slow. It was a slow burner, but that built up tension in the arena. I mean, wrestling at times is best when you do just tease something a little bit slowly. And then as it goes along, that's when you can just go full pelt, full blast. And that's what they did in that final 15 minutes. This match to me was amazing. My personal match of the night. Only issue was Cody botched a couple of Cody cutters, but it was covered up fairly well. They kind of made it look like he just did fail it, and that's what happened. It didn't look like some awful botch. But I want to get you in first, Chaos, to ask you about this one. What did you think about Roman Reigns, The Rock versus Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes?
Yeah, where do we begin with this? First off, The Rock looked like he has not left the ring in, you wouldn't think that he was gone for 10, 11 years. The guy looks the same as he was when he last faced John Cena at WrestleMania 29. And funny enough, I think today was today was the day that they actually faced, because he showed up on an IG post, and yeah, he looks exactly the same. It's crazy. Yeah, it started off slow, as you said as well. But yeah, when it came to the middle and the end, that's when things picked up. The crowd woke up as well. They were proper into it. The Rock was bending the rules. You know, he was telling the ref to like shut your mouth and effing and blinding, and they went into the crowd, came back out, came back in. He hit Cody with the belt as well, taunting Cody's mom. Cody's mom was like just saying BS, you know, you're full of rubbish, is all this, and this is the clean version, by the way. And yeah, it was absolutely, it was entertaining. The rock bottom from one table to the other, and then Seth gets speared into the barricades. Oh, it was just absolute mayhem, and we were here for it. This match was Infinity War. Just to say that this match was Infinity War, and tonight we're gonna get Endgame. It was absolutely amazing, and yeah, so many memorable moments. Like you said, the botches. There was a couple botches from Cody that happened, but it didn't hinder the match. Didn't make it look ugly. Even The Rock, couple times he slipped a couple times, but like I said, he styled it out. He's a professional out there, and yeah, it was. I've got no complaints. It was definitely the best match of the night, and yeah, it woke me up because because the match was the night was going on. It was getting on a bit. And yeah, it was 40 minutes long. I did call it that it was going to be about 40 minutes long. And tonight, I feel like tonight is going to be about an hour, because this is we're at the apex. It would probably be an hour. And I'm here for it. I just want to I'll go all out. WWE, go all out. We are here for it. Make it memorable. And yeah, a certain person's going to get that W. I'm not going to say who it is, because this idiot is going to override it. So, yeah, I can't fault it. Definitely hot.
Why are you holding a Roman Reigns pop vinyl, Jordy?
You can't edit this. It's live.
Yeah. I can
change your
see
narrative,
it,
boy. You can't change your narrative.
I'm controlling my narrative, right? My good friend DC3 told me that. But now let's talk about this, because I mean, Chaos, I think you are right, where they did tell a great story. You mentioned Marvel, you mentioned Infinity War, you mentioned Endgame. I mean, that intro, which we haven't even spoken about to start the show last night, that was Marvel too. There's clearly a Marvel influence, and maybe tonight will be Endgame, but it won't be the end of Roman's reign, because I am still convinced Reigns will retain. But what about you, Jordy? What did you think about last night? I know tonight you think Cody will win, but last night, what did you think about this 44-minute extravaganza?
Man, last night I wanted The Rock to win, and I've been quite clear about that. It genuinely would have worried me if Cody had won, and I think they've done that in a beautiful way, that there's people like me who are 30 years old now that could actually. I was genuinely rooting for The Rock to win last night, even though he's in a feud with the guy that I want to win tonight. And both the people that I want to win could potentially do it in some kind of weird way. But I thought the match was great. Yeah, it really was a throwback to The Rock, and just The Rock always fought like that, man. And I understand it's completely different to how things are done now. I completely get it, but all the way back, I always remember The Rock in these big matches would spend about 5 minutes standing and looking at people and walking around the ring with them before he actually put a grapple in. So I can completely understand that. There's probably some wrestling fans that were watching last night, a younger generation that never maybe saw that style. So, and are used to kind of very high impact, fast wrestling matches. So I can completely understand, each to their own, but I thought it was great. I always knew it was going to go somewhere. I didn't think it was going to go there. Like, it's similar to, when Stone Cold came back a couple of years ago, and it was like, all right, we're getting one of we're getting one of these matches. Like, we're going out into the crowd, we're taking bumps on the ground. Do you know what I mean? And one thing I was worried about with The Rock, and quite vocal about, was his stamina. And I was like, is he going to be able to last? But
yeah,
he didn't look tired at any point. And even if he did, once you hit a certain point within the match, you're allowed to look tired, and you should look tired.
That's a good point.
So it was really good. I thought the Rock bottom through the opposite announce table was great. Don't know if that was planned. I don't know if they were just stood too far back on the table, but I thought it looked great. And yeah, it was a throwback to matches that I remember. I thought as well the production, when they did the kind of split camera, because obviously they were at different points in the arena, and they split showing The Rock and was it Seth? The Rock and Seth in the crowd, and then Cody and Roman on the stage, and actually showing both at the same time. I thought that was great. There was nothing really about this match that I could fault. That being said, I'd had pretty much a full bottle of Southern Comfort at this point, and it was about 4 a.m. So if I watched it back and I was more analytical with a pad and pen, maybe I'd have something to critique. But yeah, I loved it. I just loved the ride that match was.
Fair enough indeed. I mean, it is one of those things, isn't it? When you're so drawn into a match, sometimes the little things, like maybe little slips or little botches, they don't mean as much to you. And I mean, straight up, I'll take you guys behind the curtain for a minute, because immediately following this match, I said, hey, I think this is 5 stars on our system. Kobe then pointed out a couple of botches, and I was like, you know what, fair enough. Now I'm thinking about it. 4.75. He disagreed some more. We then agreed on 4.5. But I think one of the reasons why I had it so high initially was because of how drawn in I was as a fan, how much this story meant. And ultimately, I mean, we talk about it quite regularly. Professional wrestling, the beauty of it is kind of sports entertainment, when there's a story which suspends your disbelief, that draws you in and just feels real, and it just gives you a feeling. It gives you goosebumps. That is when professional wrestling is its most beautiful. I strongly, strongly believe that. But Sol, what did you believe about this main event last night?
So, match was great and everything, no problem. But my main complaint, this match was too long. I am serious. 44 minutes and 34 seconds. Look, this match, if anything, it's a setup match. It's to set up night 2, right? You don't have to go 44 bloody minutes, man. 30, I would accept 30-ish. 30-ish is fine. Take that 14 minutes and put it to Jade Cargill and their team. Give them a bit more time and actually show a little bit of conflict between the two. Don't have one team come in and be like, haha, dominating. Boom, knocks the team that's been there for a wee while. Rock impressed me. I don't know why did he come out with the People's Championship. Just be like, this is the belt I was gifted on the WWE shop for 25% off. I kind of get it, because if you look at it, it's like, oh, Rock has a belt, Roman has a belt, Seth has a belt, Cody, he has his weight belt, but not technically a title. So that's where we get the visual from that. If anything, it was a good match, though. I do think the timing was just a bit too much. Half an hour would have been absolutely fine. As again, what I said, it's a setup match. I'm happy that Rock pins Cody, because that makes night 2 a bit more unpredictable, I would say. If Cody was to somehow pin The Rock or something like that, then easily in my mind, but well, yeah, Cody's definitely losing night 2, because if Cody loses again, you now have your top babyface losing last year's Mania, going on to win another Royal Rumble, then getting shafted, now pivoting to get him back in, losing in a tag match to the biggest legend of this industry, and then losing to his cousin again. What are you going to have him do? Come out on Raw?
It can't be clean. I agree on that.
Whoa, look. You're going to have him come out on Raw and be like, sorry, guys, just didn't finish it.
You can't do that. You can't do that. You are right. You can't do that.
I just didn't believe in myself, but if you buy my latest weight belt, I think that extra money in my pocket might make me feel a bit better. I think
I've already bought it, bro.
I think
Why is he British?
I think he might make me feel better, because I just can't. But look, if anything, this is what's going to happen. I'm going to tell you what's going to happen tonight, right? I'm getting truly Scottish for this one, right? Cody's going to finish his bloody story. He's going to pin Roman Reigns. We're going to have interference by Stone Cold, John Cena, Dustin Rhodes, Heck, maybe Stardust might make an opinion. He'll come in and come from another realm just to finish the story. Cody's going to win it. He's going to retire the Undisputed Universal Championship because that belt's synonymous with Roman Reigns. He's going to come out on Raw and he's going to bring back this baby. We're going to have a good era again.
Oh, you had to ruin it, Soul.
We're going to bring this back just to make everything look more beautiful and better because we're going to get a championship we can actually look at and think, yes, that is a champion belt. Look, I'm saying we're going to get a good old time. Allison's going to lose his bet, well, his prediction. I'm not going to have to do a plank on the daily after just so Chaos can win a belt. I'm just saying.
Why you got to it up? Why you got to it up? You do so well and you it up. Why? Why you wasn't a piece of...
Look, Chaos, if anything, I'm just saying I don't want Cody to lose because if Cody loses, I might have to do a plank for an hour-long daily and buy you a belt. No offense, I'm not doing that. I am not buying you a belt just so you can have on your goddamn title thing. I am not going to have you come on a daily with an Undisputed Universal Championship and gloat. I'm not going to allow you to do that. So Cody has to finish his goddamn story.
He's gonna.
Oh no, he won't. But I will. So I completely agree with you on. He cannot just lose clean tonight and then be like, "Oh, I didn't finish my story." Rollins has to screw him over. Monday Night Raw. Cody's hunting Seth Rollins. Right? You saw the last few weeks the attitude, the desire Cody's had. Well, that ain't stopping. Last year it stopped following WrestleMania. This year it ain't doing that. Cody will be on fire. He'll be hunting Seth Rollins, doing everything he can to get his hands on him. He'll then beat him, and he thinks, oh, I'm good now to be drafted to SmackDown. He gets drafted at Raw. He's staying Raw. He then, in the Money in the Bank ladder match, tries to win so he can cash in on Roman Reigns. Guess what happens? Seth Rollins screws him over and over and over and over again. Eventually, next year's Mania, after Seth screws Cody at the Royal Rumble, Seth versus Cody. I don't know, some really, really violent match, right? It won't be PG. It'll be the furthest thing that they've done from WrestleMania from PG. And these two will just go at it in a street fight. Roman Rock the same night. Two compelling, brilliant stories, money storylines. It'll be the biggest WrestleMania of all time. All over again, two blockbuster main events.
Allison, buddy, I'm not waiting that long. I am not waiting that long to see him just finish his.
I'm sorry you have a TikTok attention span, right? But
I have a good attention span. I just want this to be over. Just give us something new.
Sorry, Ben. You bored me to death. I fell asleep. I'm so sorry.
I think it's something will happen, right? I reckon they're gonna get involved in Seth's match. I think that could well be a situation, and Seth will come walking down to try and take the Rock back out, and will take out Cody, but I think he'll kick out on it too. I think that a lot of people think Seth's gonna turn on Cody, so I think they'll give that moment where they're like, "Why is Seth coming down?" But I think, or this is also what I think, that kind of hopeless moment, that Seth will get taken out in his match to a point where it's like Seth's out of the equation.
And also another thing as well, you know what the real story is? The fact that Cody Rhodes has yet to hit that third crossroads on Roman Reigns. He hit it twice last year.
Very true.
He hit it twice yesterday. He didn't get to hit the third one. Trust me, it's all about hitting that third one, finally hitting the third one.
And Seth's going to super kick. I actually don't think he will tonight. I don't even think tonight he's hitting the third crossroad. I think that's going to be summer 2025 when he will finally hit that third crossroad and finish his story. Bro. But guys, let's now finish the show because unlike Cody Rhodes, we know how to finish things. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, subscribe on all the platforms. A cheeky 5 stars on Spotify. You guys know it. It makes my day. Thank you, Jordy. Thank you, Chaos. Thank you, Soul. Make sure you guys tune in to me and Chaos. His live watch along during WrestleMania tonight. And then immediately following that, we got Clark, Savannah, Carter, and Kobe giving their immediate reactions at WrestleMania off the air. We will see you guys then. Peace.
Finish your